All right, what's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. This is the Sunflower Showdown, episode 5. As always, we got my main man Liam, and today we have Carnell Jackson, 3-star recruit out of Auburn. First off, I'm just going to start you off just asking, that question I ask all recruits. What kind of drew you to Kansas State?
The culture, the team, the family. I I thought that Kansas State was a very nice place. The family drew me in. The way the fans interact with the team, I thought it was very nice, and the way the coaches take on the players and treat the players.
For sure. You say family, you mean just like the environment?
Yes, sir. I mean the whole environment, the 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 family, the players, the coaches, the fan base. Yes, sir.
No, I heard you. How is it coming in? Because Chris Kleiman all of a sudden retired. How's it, with the transition to him to Colin Klein as the head coach?
I feel like it's gonna bring a new environment. I feel like it'll be a great start for K State. Feel like it could bring a lot of great things and new things.
For sure. And in terms of bringing new things, what do you feel like you specifically bring? You're joining the Kansas State defensive line that has some lapses last year. Was able to get to the quarterback, but was unable to stop the run and set the edge. So, what do you feel like you can bring to that line?
I can bring a force in that running game to be able to stop the run, create that wall for the defense and to stop the runs up the middle and to create chaos in the pass game.
For sure. And what do you think Colin Klein will bring to the head coaching position?
I feel like he will bring energy. He'll bring that championship level out of the guys and everybody there. I think he'll bring a good amount of energy to the team.
For sure. And some of the expectations he set on day one, what are yours for the team? They kind of had some playoff expectations last season, but, fell way short of that. Is it, Big 12 title, bowl game? What do you kind of expect to see in a bounce back year for the team?
I want to see us make it to a bowl game. I Obviously I want to make it to the playoffs, but I most definitely want to win that championship.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's all the questions I have for you. So appreciate you for hopping on. Like I said, Carnell Jackson, 3-star recruit from Auburn.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me on the show.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, so getting into a little bit of football. I know on the Kansas State side of things, it's just been the transfer portal stuff. About 11 players have officially declared that they're entering. Not a whole lot of big names, but one of the biggest this past I think I want to say Monday or Tuesday. Jayce Brown, star receiver. I mean, he's just been huge for Kansas State. Just for some stats, last season he had 41 receptions, 712 yards, 5 touchdowns. He rushed 7 times for 116 yards and a touchdown. He really was Kansas State's X factor. Just getting the downfield passes, just having that big play threat on the perimeter. I mean, that's a huge loss for Avery Johnson, and that's a huge loss for the offense because without him, people are gonna fill the gap at the line of scrimmage, and Kansas State was already having problems running the ball. I'd imagine they're probably gonna go get somebody else to fill that number one position. But I don't know if you had any thoughts, but in my opinion, that's just huge.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I he torched KU. Long story short, I mean he had a big touchdown. He had some other catches. He's a great receiver. He's deep ball threat. He can get good route running down low too. I mean, like you said, big loss. But I'm sure Klein's got. I'm sure he's got some receivers in mind that he'll like to bring in.
No, yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, I'm hoping get an offensive guy, and he's already starting to bring in some old faces, on the staff. So I could only imagine he's going to do so within the offensive scheme.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when you hire an offensive coach like that, you're never going to really. I mean, receiver will always be on the top of that list when they come in. Of course, you got to get a quarterback, but then you got to get receivers, O-line. You got to get it all. So they'll probably have no issues replacing them. I mean, Jayce Brown, really good player, but I mean, this day and age, there's wide receivers everywhere. You can go to the portal route, you can go the high school route. I'm sure they'll be fine. I mean, he's a great player. I wish him the best. I know he'll be getting a lot of good offers in the portal, so excited to see where he goes as well.
Definitely. Yeah, but anything happening particularly at Kansas in terms of the football?
I mean, just same story as Kansas State. I mean, I think KU has also had 11 people enter the portal. Some big names on defense, mainly in the linebacker safety room. Larique Rawls, he was the leading tackler in the secondary. Transferred from Oklahoma State this year. Had an interception this year. He played really well, kind of the anchor that secondary. He's a veteran, so that's a big loss. And then some other John Kamara. He was mainly just kind of a rotation guy this year on defense, but he entered the portal as well. But those are kind of the two big names that left on defense. Nothing too crazy on offense so far, just some mainly special teams contributors, just guys that are probably looking to get more playing time. So we'll see. I'm sure there are maybe a couple more big names will enter the portal here pretty soon, but mainly just the defensive side of the ball getting some names there. And then, of course, Kate, you had a big D-line commit in the portal, number one guy in the portal onto the defensive line. So good get there, but overall just kind of transfer portal news right now. Maybe some coaching changes within the coordinators and stuff, but nothing set in stone yet. But for sure, I know we both got our transfer portal trackers up on the website, so y'all can check it out there. But mainly just that right now.
Yeah, for sure. That I feel like that pickup is huge. Kansas State's defense was really, really bad last year, especially in the run. So, just doing anything to trying to just set the edge and set the tone on that side of the ball.
For sure.
Oh, yeah. All right. Now let's head to some basketball. All right. What is going on? Let me reintroduce this one time, man. This is the Sunflower Showdown with the Two Ballers podcast. Hunter and Kellen, how are y'all doing today?
Hunter, you want to start off or you want me to start off?
Let's start. I'm doing good. Had a great day so far. Excited for this collab. This been, in the works, a few days now. And so I'm excited that it's finally here and that, we get to be on y'all's show.
For sure.
Like Hunter said, I'm excited. I'm ready to get to it.
I am too. So let's dive straight into it. First, talking about Kansas State. They're coming off wins against Mississippi Valley State and Creighton. Not the biggest names, but honestly, they needed that. They had lost 4 in a row up to that point, and just honestly need to stack as much as they can before they get to the Big 12. Y'all, the Big 12, you got Arizona number 1, Iowa State number 4, Kansas 17, Houston number 8, BYU number 10, Texas Tech at 19, and that's not even mentioning Baylor and Arizona State. So they're going to have a rough time in the Big 12. So they're trying to just get as much right as possible. PJ Haggerty, he's still the country's second leading scorer, but he's only had one 20-point performance over the last 5 games. Outside of Mississippi Valley State, which is one of the worst teams in Division I basketball. He's averaging 13.5 points. He's shooting 10% from the 3, and he's shooting 48% from the free throw line. So they got to get right. I don't know if y'all have been watching, but what are your thoughts on the Wildcats right now?
Are you, Cal?
Oh, you want me to go? Okay. I feel like they've been playing decent offensively and defensively. I wasn't really too high on Kansas State coming into the season because obviously the Big 12 is a gauntlet in itself, considering you have Arizona, BYU, and all these other dominant teams. So, I wasn't really too high on them to start off. I'm not going to lie to you.
That's real.
Yeah, I would definitely say with Kansas State, like you said, Jayden, they needed kind of those back-to-back wins this week, especially after I mean, Shaheen Holloway basically called them soft. He actually did call them soft in their building. So they needed to respond well. Kansas State, they struggle to guard the ball. I mean, I think that's the bottom line. I mean, they're like I think 200, like the 265 and like score defense. So like they're giving up a lot of points a game. And like you said, Jay, in that gauntlet Big 12, they open up with BYU at home and then on the road at Arizona. So they're going to be tested right away. So it's important that they end the season strong, end this year out strong, because once they get into Big 12 play, it's going to be a gauntlet. And I'm not sure they have the necessary team to be able to withstand that gauntlet and to be able to pick up some quality wins in the conference that definitely has the wins there. It's just a matter of can Kansas State go get those wins? And to be honest with you, I don't think they can.
At this moment, I'm gonna have to agree with you. Liam, I don't know. I don't know how much Wildcats basketball you've been watching, but you have any thoughts on kind of the trajectory right now?
No, I mean you guys summed it up perfectly. They gotta just keep stacking as many wins as they can before you get into Big 12, just because of that. It's such a good basketball conference. There's never gonna be a night off in the Big 12. You gotta bring your A game every night, and if they can't, they're gonna start to fall behind. But I think they definitely do have some talented guys on that roster. It's just whether or not they're moving at 100% together. So they got to just keep moving in the right direction. But 2 in a row is you're never gonna complain about that.
No, yeah, for sure. And then Hunter, more on your point, after I think it was the Seton Hall loss, Jerome Tang basically called his team soft. Like the reporters were asking him about toughness, and he was like, "Well, I didn't see any toughness out there." So for your own head coach to be calling you out like that, that definitely shows things need to change.
For sure. And they just gotta figure things out. I mean, and I think the thing with Kansas State is like you kind of saw it last Saturday against Creighton. Like when their shots are falling, they can beat anybody in the country, but they're so reliant on the three that like when they're not falling, it gets very ugly. Like we particularly saw that, like losing at home to Bowling Green, like those, like that's loss. Like you can't have, especially when you're going to be in the Big 12, knowing what you got coming up in a few weeks. But yeah, I think they just got to find a way to make shots and not be as reliant on the three. But that's the type of team they have, and so they just got to go down with the ship at this point.
No, yeah, I definitely agree. And I think like players like Abdi Bashir Jr. are a testament to that. When he gets his three going, he's unstoppable. When he doesn't, there's not a whole lot else he can do. So yeah. But yeah, heading over Kansas. You want to take it over, Liam?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, KU's got 2 big wins last week. They had one on the road at NC State. Kind of the big storyline there is Melvin Council Jr. St. Bonaventure transfer. He dropped 36 points. 9 threes. He was just kind of playing out of his mind. They gave him 2 open threes at the beginning of the game. He made them both. They just kind of let him get hot, and he just took over. Towards the end of the game there, Darren Peterson kind of had some cramping issues, so he went out with like 2 minutes to go. And then Council was able to take over. But mainly the big storyline this year has just been Darren Peterson's health, obviously. He's had some cramping issues, but, I mean, everyone knows how talented of a player he can be, and he is. Hopefully he can get that figured out. And then last night they had Townsend at Allen Fieldhouse and just kind of took care of them, and really just a balanced approach from all of them. But I don't know if any of you guys have any takes about the Darren Peterson situation, if you've been able to see him play when he's healthy, but just kind of overall.
I can speak on that. I can say that when he's healthy, he's a bucket. He's a bucket. He's a pure scorer. Like I watched his game against North Carolina. I already knew how talented he was coming out of high school, but coming into Kansas as a freshman and being in that starting role and having the green light to go score off rip was impressive to see from him. So most definitely. But I heard reporters say, "Oh yeah, he should get shut down and other things like that in terms of his health and his injuries." So I mean, we'll see what happens come conference time. So hopefully he'll be back for that because I know they want to make a run come March Madness time for sure.
Yeah, I'll say like that NC State game was the first time I had been able to like actually kind of watch a Kansas game, and Darren Peterson just like stuck out like right away. Like he hit two like contested threes. You could tell his impact right away. You could tell like I mean that's who he is, but like it just sucks that he's not like fully healthy enough to be on the court every game because at some point in when you get down to Big 12, you're going to need a guy like Darren Pearson to just get a bucket. And they don't really, outside of that, they don't really have that guy right now. Now, Melvin Council, like you said, Liam, was playing out of his mind, and he was able to do that. But that's not going to be Melvin Council every night. So not having Darren Pearson there kind of messes Kansas up a little bit. But I mean, they still do have Bill Self, and the thing about Bill Self is I feel the most underrated aspect about him is that he finds a way to win games that like you think, okay, Kansas is not the better team, but you look over the sideline and they have Bill Self and kind of that matters. Like the coaching part matters, and they got Bill Self at the end of the day. So he's gonna figure things out for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, when Pearson's on the floor, I think they're top 10, maybe even top 5 talented team in the nation. And just they're ranked number 17 right now. Their 3 losses were to really good teams. I mean, they lost to UConn, North Carolina, and Duke. So, I mean, 3 of the best programs in the country. And 2 of those games, they didn't have Peterson. So when he's fully healthy and they're firing on all cylinders, I think the ceiling for the team is really high. And, yeah.
Oh yeah. I was just gonna add on. Hunter actually texted me during the NC State game. He was like, "Look at Darren Peterson," but I'm like, "Man, look at Melvin Council Jr." Like he dropped 36. And obviously he's not gonna do that every night, but I think in the midst of not only Darren Peterson, because he was kind of struggling in the first half of that game, and then Trey White didn't really get going until overtime. So, just having, somebody else that they can rely on, in addition to Floyd Badunga, of course. But yeah, I think that's just going to be important because Darren Peterson has been kind of up and down on the injury chart all season. I think that somebody's going to have to step into that third scoring role.
Yeah, for sure. I think kind of a blessing to disguise. I mean, you never want a player like Darren Pearson to miss some time during a season, but I mean, he's missing this time. It's really been given opportunities to other guys to kind of step up. Like, of course, Melvin Council, he's really stepped up. Trey White's been a lot more aggressive without Peterson on the floor. So I think these guys are just knowing that they got to be a lot more aggressive when Peterson's 20 points per game isn't on the floor every night. So I think that's just kind of a blessing in disguise. But of course, I think Peterson will be hopefully back healthy for conference play. It's just been cramping. He had a hamstring injury as well. So hopefully they can get that fully figured out. I would definitely expect him to be back soon. It doesn't sound too crazy. So hopefully he's back for conference play.
Yeah, and also one thing, like, especially when you get to conference play, like, that's when Allen Fieldhouse is, like, rocking. And it's like, that's a tough place to play. And no matter, you could be Houston going in there without Darren Peterson, Kansas without Darren Peterson, Kansas is going to find a way to win that game because most times, like, they got that crowd. And they got that crowd on their side. They got the fans going crazy. And it's an environment that's tough to play in. And you got that crowd, it matters. Like, it matters for sure. And so I think that's something to keep in mind once we get into conference play too. And guys just play better at home too. Like, they feed off that energy. That's their home gym. Like, so I think that's also another factor to keep in mind as we go into conference play.
Yeah, definitely. Before we head off, real quick, anybody just want to make their Big 12 picks? Who you think is gonna remain on top and whatnot?
Ooh, I think I'm gonna go Arizona. I really like Arizona. Tommy Lloyd. I mean, he's been coaching really well. I mean, they got Koa Pete, who had 30 against Florida. They had Braden Burries, who just had a career high against Alabama. He had 28. I watched the game. He was out there killing. He was out there getting bucket after bucket after bucket. And Arizona's defense has just always been dominant. But then again, to Hunter's point, which he made on our podcast about Arizona, was that they played well in the regular season. How will this show up come conference play and come tournament time?
For sure. No, yeah, I agree. I'm going with Arizona on top for now.
I'm gonna be contrary here. I'm taking Houston. I just think Calvin Sampson, like defensively, he just finds a way to muck the game up, make it tough on guys. And I think they won the Big 12 last year. I just trust Calvin Sampson. Like he's just gonna find a way to win the game. It's not a style that you traditionally play. They're gonna be physical with you. They're gonna push you off your spot, and they're gonna score just enough points to find a way to beat you. So I'm going Houston.
Yeah, I think there's so many good options. I mean, Arizona, obviously number one team right now. Houston, really good. I'm gonna have to go with Houston too, though. I was thinking about Texas Tech, but I'm gonna give the edge to Houston there. And then, just like you said, they can make any game their type of basketball. I mean, they'll dive on the floor for any loose ball. They'll foul you. They'll do whatever they need to win. They'll make the game physical, and they can score even if they need to. So I'll go with Kelvin Sampson. I mean, great coach there. Just fell short of the national championship last year. I think they can get back there this season and maybe even win it.
I was about to say.
I said BYU.
I was waiting for somebody to say it.
They're really, really good too.
Yeah,
there's just so many good teams in the Big 12.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I'm not mad at Houston. Like to your point, Liam, like they were literally 3 seconds away from winning the national championship. So, who's to say that they won't go back? Yeah. But any last comments from anybody before we head off?
Man, I don't got anything. I appreciate y'all for the collab. It was great. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
I'm just glad we got to make it happen.
Yeah, we'll definitely make it happen again. Like I said, Sunflower Showdown, Two Ballers Podcast. Thank you all for tuning in. We will see you all next time.